Today we continue to listen Anattalakkhana Sutta. First we have to recite the Pali. Page 115. Can you follow me? Evo me suttam eka samayam bhagava varanasiyam viharati isi patane migadaye tatrago bhagava pinjavakiye bhikkhu amante si bhagavati Badante dite bhikkhu bhagavato pijasoso bhagava etadavoja rupam bhikkhave natta rupinjahidam bhikkhave atta abhavesa nayidam rupam avadaya samviteya labetacha rupe evo me rupam hotu evo me rupam mahositi yasamacha ko bhikkhave rupanatta tasma rupam avadaya samvedati nacha lavati rupe evo me rupam hotu evo me rupam mahositi. You recite together. Evo me suttam eka samayam bhagava varanasiyam viharati isi patane migadaye tatrago bhagava pinjavakiye bhikkhu amante si bhagavati padante dite bhikkhu bhagavato pijasoso bhagava etadavoja rupam bhikkhave natta rupinjahidam bhikkhave atta abhavesa naidam rupam avadaya samviteya lavetacha rupe evo me rupam hotu evo me rupam mahositi yasamacha ko bhikkhave rupanatta tasma rupam avadaya samvedati nacha lavati rupe evo me rupam hotu Eho me rupa mahositi. Number 1 paragraph. Read again. Rupam Bhikkhave Nata Rupinjayidam Bhikkhave Atta Abhavesa Naira Rupa Avadaya Samvitteya Labhitacha Rupe Evo Me Rupa Hotu Evo Me Rupa Mahositi Yasamacha Ko Bhikkhave Rupa Natta Tasama Rupa Avadaya Samvittati Nacha Lavati Rupe Evo Me Rupa Hotu Evo Me Rupa Mahositi. Translation. Follow me. Thus have I heard. At one time, the Blessed One was residing in the dear sanctuary of Isipatana, near the town of Varanasi. Then the Blessed One addressed the group of 5 monks. Ye monks, they replied thus, Yes, Venerable Sir, the Blessed One said this, monks, Rupa, the material body, is not self, soul or living entity. Monks, if body was self, it would not tend to afflict or distress, and it would also possible to say, let my body be thus. Let my body not be thus. Monks, in fact, body is not self. Since it is not self, it tends to afflict and distress. And it is not possible to say of body, let it be thus. Let it not be thus. Body is not self. So what is body? What is rupa? The whole material body, which is coexisting with the eye sensitivity, retina, ear sensitivity, eardrum, nose sensitivity, tongue sensitivity, body sensitivity, etc., is regarded to be a living entity. In common language, the whole body, which is compounded of the material quality, is spoken of as self, soul, or living entity. Yes, the usage in the daily life of expressions such as self or living entity is not wrong. It's not utterance of falsehood. Conforming to the convention of the world. But from the point of view of ultimate reality, ultimate absolute reality, all the material substance of the whole body is not in reality self or individual or a being, but only the aggregates or matter or material qualities. So Buddha had pronounced definitely and explicitly that although individuals view the aggregates of material qualities as a living beings or living entity, in reality, it is not soul, it is not atta, nor a living entity, but merely a physical phenomenon. But people who hold that the material substance in their body itself, we come up with the question, why is rupa is not self? They may come up with that question. So Buddha had provided an explanation why rupa is not self. Rupincha hidam bhikkhave atta abhavisa Naidan rupa abadaya samviteya labitaja rupe evome rupa hotu evome rupa mahositi. That is, Buddha gave that reason showing why body is not self. Bhikkhus, if body was self, the inner core of your own body, then rupa would not tend to affliction or distress. And you should be able to manage your body. Let my body be in the best of condition. Let my body not be in the worst of condition. You should be able to manage your body. It should be possible to influence your body in that manner. So if rupa body, the inner core of our body or self, it should not cause suffering, but actually our body is imposing suffering. Body does not remain youthful and vigorous. Body distressed by growing old and by decaying. And finally, death. If we have no body, we would be free from affliction of getting gray hairs. We would be free from various kinds of affliction, fallen teeth, benhash, deafness, poor eyesight, wrinkled skin, and infirmity. So it is body which is inflicting the suffering. Again, because we have body, we have this that our body, we are troubled with sore eye, earache, toothache, backache, flatulence, feeling hot, cold, pain, and itching, and with disease of blood, skin, stomach, urine, or high blood pressure, various kinds of ailments. We have a lot of trouble with this body. So these ailments arise because of our body through which they make their manifestation. We have to take breakfast and lunch because we suffer from hunger, and drink water hourly because of this rupa. Because of it, we are subjected to attacks by mosquito, insects, and various kinds of bacteria and virus. So suffering in the states of misery and woes are also due to their rupa. In addition, this body is responsible for the phenomena of death in human existence. When the material qualities in our body undergo deterioration and decay, death will come. So it may be said that rupa inflicts suffering by causing death. So thus we can reflect if rupa was safe, it would not inflict us with the suffering of aging, sickness, and death. Even before coming of aging, sickness, and death, our body is constantly subjecting us to various distress. A person, although free from illness and enjoying good health, cannot remain long in any of the body postures, such as sitting, standing, and walking. So we have to change our postures quite often. During meditation, not only the sitting, we have to adjust our body, sitting, walking, activities. We have to adjust this body in the appropriate manner. It is within the experience of all of us that we cannot remain for long as we wish in any one body postures. Constant changing of postures is necessitated by feelings of hotness or tiredness in our limbs after a certain time in one position. All these distress arise because of our rupa, because of our body. In other words, it is rupa, it is our body that is inflicting these distress. Furthermore, it is stated, if rupa was safe, the inner core, it should be possible to manage our body. Let my body be in the best of condition. Let my body not be in the worst of condition. Truly, we should be able to exercise our will on this rupa, this body, if it were our self or atta. We all beings desire to have our material body always youthful and healthy in appearance, to keep our body from aging, sickness, and deterioration resulting in death. But our material body never obliging. Our body refused to be subject to our will. Its fresh youthfulness fades into age, debility. Its strong health declines year by year, month by month, day by day, moment by moment, declining against our will, resulting in illness and diseases, and finally in dissolution and death. So our rupa is not under our control. It is not manageable according to our wish. So Buddha pointed out that Rupam Bhikkhave Natta, Rupa is not oneself, the inner core of one's body. Believers in Atta states Atta to be of two kinds, Jiva Atta and Brahma Atta. According to Attawadi, Atta believer, each individual creature, whether man, devas or animal, has a self, an inner soul or substance called Jiva Atta. This soul or living entity is believed to be created by Brahma Atta. But some believers hold that these individual Jiva Atta are small segments of Atta which which have come out from the big Atta. So Brahma Atta is a big Atta. He created the world together with all the creatures in it. According to some believers, this big Atta permeates the whole world. But others say big Atta lies in the heavenly abode. So that kinds of belief had existed long before the appearance of the fully enlightened Buddha. It is clear from the eulogy of Bhaga Brahma at one time Buddha went to the realms of the Brahmas for the purpose of clearing up the wrong views held by the great Brahma Bhaga. On arrival there, the great Brahma Bhaga welcomed the Blessed One to his realm, in praise of which he spoke. In this way, welcome the Venerable Gautama. Your coming is good coming, although you have taken a long time to do so. Our Brahma land is permanent, stable, everlasting, perfect in every way. And so one does not die or pass away from this Brahma land. For this utterance, Buddha rebuked the Brahma Bhaga. O Brahmas, how ignorant is Brahma Bhaga? Because of his ignorance, he described his impermanent realm to be permanent and stable. So Buddha rebuked Brahma Bhaga. Upon this, one of the followers of the Brahma Bhaga said in angry protest, Bhikkhu Gautama, do not rebuke Brahma Bhaga, do not rebuke him. This Brahma Bhaga is a great Brahma. He is the chief of Brahma. He is a conqueror over all, invincible. Our great Brahma sees all. And he can exercise power and authority over every creature. He is the maker of the world. He is the creator of the whole world. This Brahma is the noblest person. This Brahma is one who assigns to each king, Brahmin, man, devas, animal, etc. his respective station in the world. He is accomplished in attainments. He is the father of all the past and future beings, thus praising the virtues of Brahma Bhaga. So it is from the Brahmajala Sutta. So in the Brahmajala Sutta, where origin of the wrong views of permanency of certain individual was explained, and the Buddha had given a similar account of the Brahma. Our world will be destroyed finally. The world will be destroyed by fire, water, and finally wind. And the world will be totally destroyed due to the mental defilements of beings. After the previous world has perished away, there was a time when a new world began evolving. The first Brahma who made his appearance thought and believed in this way because he was the first Brahma. He appeared in this world and he believed, I am a Brahma. I am a great Brahma. I am conqueror, a Bhikkhu. I am invisible by anyone. Nabhi I can see everything in Yadatu Daso. I'm almighty to have every wish fulfilled. Vasaviti. I'm a Lord, I'm a maker, Kata. I'm a creator, Nimata. I'm the noblest of all, Sito, in Pali. I'm the one who assigns to each his station, Sajita. I'm accomplished in attainments, Vasi. I'm the father of all the past and future beings, Buddha Bhabyanam Pita. So he believed in this way. So the Brahmas who had made their appearance later in the realms of Brahma also thought and believed in this way. Of, of those Brahma who had passed away from the realms of Brahma to be reborn in our human world, there were some who could recall their past existence in the Brahma land. This person boldly announced, "The great Brahma created the beings in the world. The Creator himself, the great Brahma, is permanent. Great Brahma is eternal. However, the creature he has created do not last permanently. They die and pass away." So these bold announcements as their personal experience were believed and accepted by those who heard their teaching. So Buddha explained that this was how the view that only the Creator who first created things are permanent, eternal, originated. Buddha explained. From the Pali Canon we have just mentioned, we can conclude that the so-called Brahma who is said to have created the beings, is said to be in the heavenly abode, could be the great Brahma who first appeared in the realms of Brahma at the beginning of the world. We could also take it that the Brahma Atta and the Atta of that great Brahma then it becomes clear from the teaching of the Buddha that the Brahma Atta of the great Brahma is of the same kind as Jiva Atta of other beings. It is just misconceiving the continuous flow of Namarupa, continuous flux of material and mental process as Atta, Actually, there is no such thing as atta apart from the namarupa, psychophysical phenomena. Furthermore, the rupa nama, mind and matter of great Brahma are just like the mind and matter of other beings, subject to laws of impermanence. When his lifespan becomes exalted, the great Brahma also faced death and has to pass away. So in reality, the great Brahma cannot have every wish for his fulfilled. He cannot maintain the rupas of his body according to his wish. So the rupa of the great Brahma is also not atta, his inner core or self. The rupa, the material body of the great Brahma, is also anatta, no self. But in general, people hold on to the belief that there is an individual soul, a living entity, which lasts for the duration of the lifespan before he dies. There is a view held by annihilists. Annihilists believe that there remain nothing after death. Annihilist Ochedawadi. And there's people, Sasatawadi, eternalist. Eternalists believe that the individual soul remains undestroyed after death, lives on in other new bodies, never perishing. According to the eternalist, the body of a being is made up of two parts, the gross body and the subtle body. At the end of each existence, when death comes, the gross body gets destroyed, but the subtle body departs from the old body to enter into new body, and then remaining eternal and never perishing. So this view of eternalists, as described in their literature, has been reproduced in full in the sub-commentary to the Visuddhimagga. So these are the various beliefs in self together with their origination in order to present more clearly the concept of anatta, non-self. Among the people who profess themselves to be Buddhist, there are many Buddhists who normally believe in the existence of a soul or a living entity, even though they have not put down their beliefs in so many words in the form of their literature. So they hold to the view that life departs on the death of a being via his nose or his mouth. When conception takes place in the womb of mother, soul enters through her nose, her mouth, or piercing through her abdomen. And from birth to death, that atta remains steadfastly in the new body. All these views relate to the belief in the existence of a soul or living entity. In reality, that means just the cessations of our psychophysical process, the non-arisal of new mind and matter after the termination of death consciousness at the moment of our death. There is no such thing as the departing soul, or there is no such thing as departing living entity. Rebirth, the new becoming, means the arising of new consciousness at a new site together with the physical base on which it finds its support. Just before death consciousness terminates, at the moment of our death, death consciousness holds on to one of the objects, karma or karma nimitta or gati nimitta, karma our deed, and karma nimitta signs of our deed, and gati nimitta signs of our destiny. Conditioned thus by the objects held on to at the last moment of our consciousness, new consciousness arises at a new site in the new existence. That is called rebirth or relinking consciousness. It forms a link between our previous existence and new existence. When the relinking consciousness passes away, it is followed by Bhovenga consciousness, life continuum. So in our life, Bhovenga Citta, life continuum goes on continuously throughout our life as prescribed by our previous karmic energy. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, such as when sense objects such as sight, sound, etc. appear at the six and doors, the Bhovenga consciousness, life continuum, is replaced by seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, etc. So the arising of new consciousness in the new existence as conditioned by our karma of past existence is conventionally called by common usage migration. Migration from the old existence to the new existence. But in reality, there is no soul, there is no living entity which transmigrate from one existence to another existence. There are people who cannot understand the concept of non-self because they do not know about the theory of atta. So they think it is atta clinging if you hold on to the shape and form of objects. For instance, you recognize a tree as a tree, you recognize as a stone, you recognize as a house. It's according to them, you are clinging to atta. In their view, the facts of anatta, soullessness, is clearly grasped only when concept of shape and form is transcended and replaced by perception of ultimate truth. As a matter of fact, merely perceiving forms and shapes does not amount to utter clinging. Neither does it mean that belief in anatta is established once shapes and forms are no longer perceived. Recognizing inanimate objects such as tree, stone, house does not constitute a belief in atta. It does not amount to self-theory clinging. It is merely holding on a conventional concept. So it is only when sentient beings with life and consciousness, such as man, devas, animals, etc., are assumed to have a soul or a living entity, that it amounts to clinging to belief in self. When the person assumes himself to be a living soul or others as living entity, then he is holding the belief in self. You can see Arupa Brahma, Brahma of the immaterial realms. They have no material body. They do not perceive themselves in the conventional shape and form, but the ordinary worldly Brahma are not free from the view of self. They believe as they do in the existence of self, a living entity. It is only when belief in existence of self, a living entity, is discarded and your own body and others' body is perceived as merely Namarupa, merely psychophysical phenomena, that knowledge of anatta, non-self, arises. So it is essential to develop true knowledge of anatta. So there are four kinds of atta clinging arising out of belief in self or soul. The first atta clinging is Sami atta clinging. If the person believes that there is inside his body, there is a living entity who governs and directs every wish and action. There is this living soul which goes, living soul stand up, living soul sit down, sleeps, speaks whenever it wishes to. That is Sami Atta clinging. So you can ask yourself, do you believe that there is living entity in my body, controlling and directing as it wishes? Do you believe that kinds of uh, uh, clinging? So the clinging is Sami Atta clinging. Sami Atta clinging is belief in a living entity in one's body, controlling and directing as it wish. So Anattalakkhana Sutta was taught by the Buddha, particularly to remove this Sami Atta clinging. Now, as this Anatta Sutta is first taught to the group of 5 monks who had become uh, by stream enterers, may it not be asked whether Sotapanna still have atta clinging? No, Sotapanna have no atta clinging. Sotapanna has abandoned atta clinging but still hold on to conceit. So at this stage of Sotapanna, the 3 Sanyojana, 3 factors are abandoned. Sakaya Detti, Vijikaja, Silabara Pramasa are abandoned in Sotapanna. Sakaya Detti, self-illusion, Vijikaja, skeptical doubt, and Silabara Pramasa, belief in wrong habits and practice are abandoned in Sotapanna. So can you follow me? Sakaya Detti, Vijikaja, Silabara Pramasa, self-illusion, doubt, and belief in wrong habits and practice are abandoned in Sotapanna. So if you become Sotapanna, you abandon, you eradicate 3 Sanyojana. Sakaya Ditti, self-illusion, skeptical doubt, Vijikaja, and Silabara Pramasa, belief in wrong habits and practice. All 3 Sanyojana factors are abandoned in Sotapanna. So at the stage of Sotapanna, these factors have been completely eradicated but Sotapanna is not yet free from Asamimana. Sotapanna have I conceit. So to take pride in his ability and his status, I can do, I am noble, is to hold on to the I conceit. But Sotapanna conceit relates only to the genuine qualities and virtues he actually possesses and is not false pride based on non-existing qualities and virtues. So Sotapanna has to continue on with the practice of Vipassana meditation in order to remove conceit and conceit clinging, which is still a fetter for him. So when your Vipassana insight knowledge is considerably developed, this I conceit becomes weakened and is partially removed when you become Sakadagami path. But it is not completely annihilated yet. When you become Anagami path further weakens it. But this path also could effect only partial removal. It is only when you become Arhata Mega, that could completely eradicate the Asamimana, I conceit. So it could be regarded that this Anattalakkhana Sutta was taught by the Buddha in order to bring about total eradication of the I conceit, clinging, Asamimana, which was still lingering in the person of the 5 monks, although they had attained the stage of Sotapannahood, string enterer. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the 6 senses, may all yogis eradicate Sami atta clinging, Nivasi atta clinging, and Karaka atta clinging, and Vedaka atta clinging. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So